let's lengthen our left leg straight out with the foot flexed. Reaching, bending our right leg, right knee in towards our chest, and giving it a little hug. And since we're here, let's point and flex the foot. As we're laying here stretching, we might as well, get a little ankle exercise in. Relaxing your back on the mat. And now trying some ankle circles in one direction, making sure you're breathing. Breathing in determination and breathing out acceptance. And other direction, rotating the ankle. Gently bringing the ankle to a stop, extending the leg straight up to the ceiling. And if you want to do a little point and flex of your foot while the leg is upstretched, you can do that. And then coming to a flexed position on the foot, bringing the left leg and placing the left foot flat on the mat, knee to the sky. Let's bring the right ankle over left, just above the left knee, and pull the left leg into a figure 4 stretch. So you can hold your left leg either behind your hamstring, or if you feel like you could use a little extra stretch in the right hip, you can reach above your shin. That's okay too. Either place is fine. And you can stay here if you're happy here, or as a unit, shifting the legs to the left so that the right foot places on the ground and the left leg rests on the ground. And if you're here, you can place your arms in goalposts or in a T. You can look to the right if that feels good. If your neck's bothering you, it might just be easier to look up to the sky. But you can try and just see how your body feels today. And if you're looking to the right, head to the center and bringing the legs as one unit back to center and unwinding the legs and laying the right leg down flat on the mat and bringing the left leg in for a hug. Oof. Yep. Breathing into any sensations you feel in your left leg or hip crease area. Then pointing and flexing the ankle. Get some movement in the calf and the ankle, and then rotating the left ankle in one direction. Relaxing your back. Don't be tense on your back and your shoulders. Try to relax as you're doing this. And other direction. Breathing as you go. And then coming to a gentle stop, extending the leg up to the sky and hugging it in a little bit for a back of the leg stretch. You can point and flex your left foot if you like to. It's interesting sometimes to feel the difference in how your leg feels when you point and flex your ankle in this position than the previous position. And then come to a gentle stop if you're pointing and flexing. Let's bend the right knee, so the knee is to sky, right foot on the floor, cross left ankle over right thigh, and then pull the right leg in for a figure 4 stretch. Either holding your hands behind your hamstring or over top of the right shin for a more intense stretch. Breathing in through the stretch in your back left thigh. And if you'd like to, you can take the legs as one unit over to the right so that left foot is on the floor, right leg is resting also on the floor, and bring arms to goalposts and either look straight to the ceiling or look left. And breathe and relax. Really enjoying the feeling of what you're doing. Then bringing the legs, if you need to help your legs over with your arms, by all means do that. Bring them to center. And putting both legs straight out in front of you, arms above your head for a morning stretch. Point the toes, stretch the arms, stretch. And relax. Then let's grab the right forearm with the left hand and bring the upper body over to the left, then taking your legs over to the left for a banana pose. If you want, you can cross right ankle over left. You don't have to. That does make it a bit more intense. If you can inch more into a C shape and stretch the right side of your body, that's great, keeping shoulder blades on the mat. Or you can stay where you are if that feels good, or ease off a little bit if it's a little much. Then coming to center, grabbing the left forearm with the right hand, bringing the upper body over to the right, keeping shoulders on the mat, then bringing legs over to the right. And if you want, you can cross left ankle over right. And make little micro adjustments as feels good for you if you want to ease off a bit or you want to have a little more stretch. And back to center. And if you want to, you can either roll over onto your side and gently move up to a seated position, or if you want to bring your legs up and roll up to a seated position, that's good too. Both ways get you into where you want to go. And coming to a seated position, sitting bones rooting into the mat, being mindful of your spine nice and long, chin parallel to the floor, crown to the sky, shoulder blades slightly together to open up your chest and shoulders down and away from your ears. Let's just take a moment to enjoy the feeling of how it feels to be in this seated posture. And then let's take our hands and rotate them in one direction, just sort of getting some mobility into the wrists. And other direction. And gently bringing your hands onto your legs, your knees. Let's rotate our shoulders around. So bringing the shoulders forward and up and back and down. Loosening things up in the shoulders. If this isn't working for your neck today, just, ease off, do gentle little rotations. If it feels good, then try some deeper rotations. I don't want to say more aggressive, but deeper rotations. And gently coming to a stop. Let's go in the opposite direction. So back and up, forward and down. I never find that this pose looks terribly attractive, but it feels good a lot of times. That's why we come to yoga. All right, so coming gently to a stop. Let's take our hands and bring them into prayer position at the center of our chest, bringing the hands down and up as we breathe in, and meet at the center at the top and come down the middle to heart center on the exhale, and then up, inhale, and down through the center. If you want to breathe up, determination, and down, acceptance. You can, as feels nice and natural for you today. And just a couple more rounds. And when you're ready, slowly coming to a stop. Cross your legs in the opposite direction just to balance things out. Check your seat, your sitting bones firm, your spine nice and long. Let's take the right arm and bring right elbow in the middle of the chest, bicep parallel to the floor, forearm and fingertips pointing towards the ceiling. Take the left arm underneath the right and then wrap it around so that the left fingertips are touching the right palm, eagle arms. And let's take a moment here just to kind of play around with our shoulder blades and maybe pushing into our elbows, bring them together, bring them apart. See how that feels. Does it feel good? Does it not feel good? Just taking notice and doing more of what feels good and less of what doesn't. And then let's try to bring the arms up on the inhale and down on the exhale, and rounding the spine, bowing the head, relaxing the neck if that feels good. Coming up on the inhale, down on the exhale, rounding the spine, relaxing the head and neck. One more time up. Inhale and up, and exhale down. Relaxing the neck and the head. And then coming to a neutral position, unwinding the arms. Doing the other side now, so bringing left elbow in middle of the chest, right arm underneath and wrapping around so that right fingertips are touching left palm, eagle arms other side. And playing around on this side by bringing the elbows in closer together. Check out how that feels to you. And then try and pull them apart a little bit, see how that feels. And maybe hang out a little bit in one spot or the other if that's nice. And then inhaling up. And exhaling down, rounding the spine, relaxing the neck. Inhale up. And on the inhale, if it feels good, you can look up at your hands. And then down, rounding the spine. One more time. Up. And down, and exhale, round the spine. Relax the neck. Coming back to center, releasing the arms. Let's now take both hands and bring them behind your back into reverse prayer. So aspiring to bring fingertips together behind your back. If you make it there, you might want to try edging your palms, fingers up the back, closer towards your neck, and trying to bring your hands, the palms of your hands, closer together. And you'll notice that it's putting you into a little gentle back bend, opening up the chest, opening up the shoulders, breathing here. If you can eke it up a little bit more, go for it if it feels good. If it doesn't, you may want to back it off a little bit, bring your hands closer to the ground. And you can stay here if you like, or you can elongate through the spine, crown of the head to the sky, and leading with your heart coming over your legs, the nice long spine, and then relaxing down. If you're able to bring forehead to mat, that's great. If not, you can just enjoy the forward bend wherever you're at, and leading with your heart and coming back up. There we go. Let's undo the hands, relax the hands, shake them out a little bit. There we go. All right, so I'm coming on to tabletop. So, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, fingers spread, so you have a nice solid base from which to work. And then on the inhale, let's drop the belly, raise the head and tail, cow. Pushing into the hands to keep a nice stable chest. And on the exhale, tucking the tailbone, bringing chin to chest, rounding the spine, cat. And dropping the belly, raising the tail and heart, inhaling cow. On the exhale, rounding the spine, moving into cat. Engaging those abs, relaxing neck. And dropping the belly, lifting head and tail, cow. And rounding the spine. One more time to cat. Pushing into the hands. And coming back to a neutral spine. Let's now shift weight a little bit to the right hand. And we're going to lift the right leg and the left arm straight out in front and behind. And then if you like, you can bring it in for a crunch at the middle and extend. And crunch on the exhale and extend and inhale. And one more time, crunch on the exhale and extend on the inhale. And if you like, you can either go back to tabletop or you can reach behind and grab your right foot, kicking into the hand, keeping your chest parallel to the floor. And release. And back to tabletop. Now other side. So shifting the, hold on a second. Yeah, there we go. I got confused. Hold on. So shifting the weight into the left hand and right knee, lifting left leg behind and right arm straight ahead. And then crunching in the middle. Inhale, extend. Exhale and crunch. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale and crunch. And extend. Nice and long, front and back. And if you like, you can reach the right arm back, bend the left leg and grab the left foot, keeping the chest parallel to the floor. And then release and come into tabletop. Let's now come into a kneeling pose and extend the right leg out to the side so that the right foot is parallel to the edge of the mat, and you're otherwise in a kneeling position. Bringing the left arm up and overhead, reaching from left knee all the way up the side body over to the right and gently placing your right hand on your right leg, anywhere but the knee. This is gate pose. Breathe. And bringing the hand back down towards your side, bringing the leg in, coming back to a kneeling position. Then extending the left leg out to the side, left foot parallel to the left edge of your mat. Bringing right arm up and over, reaching overhead, keeping your right shoulder rolled back so your chest is open. And left hand on your left leg, avoiding your knee. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you gently press on your knee, but I always like to avoid the joint if we can avoid the joint. And energetically reach from right knee up through the side body, rotating that shoulder gently back, reaching through the fingertips. Smile on face, maybe. And coming back to a kneeling position. Let's come back into tabletop. Watching our alignment, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Bring the weight into the left hand, bringing the right arm up and over. And then bringing the right arm down across your chest and laying your right shoulder down with your right arm laying across your chest on the mat, palm facing up. Check your alignment between your knees and your hips. If you need to scooch forward or back a little bit, by all means. And then you can extend your left arm forward, left palm facing down. Check to see how your neck feels in this. You don't want your neck to be compressed, so if you want to lift up your head and just shift your head up towards the top of the mat, that's not a bad idea. And you can stay here, or if you want to bring your left arm off the mat and behind your back so that the top of your left hand is sort of resting on your right hip, that's an option. You don't have to take it, it's an option. And then coming back to tabletop. We'll do the same on the other side. So bringing the weight into the right hand, bringing the left arm up, and then back down and across your chest, laying shoulder on the mat with your left palm facing up, looking towards the right, and then bringing your right arm forward. Just thread the needle, being mindful of where your knees and hips are. It may not be perfect, but we're aspiring to have them basically stacked. Checking your neck, making sure it's not compressed. If you want, you can bring the right arm behind you and take the bind. And then unwinding the right arm if you took the bind and coming back up into tabletop. Excuse me. Now, bringing the knees so that they're mat width apart and keeping knees and hips sort of in a triangle so they're all aligned. And then walking the arms forward into Mandukasana. And the goal is to extend the arms and hands straight in front and rest your forehead on the mat. And if you want to actively push into your hands, you can. That creates a little more tension in the arms and makes it more of an active pose, or you can kind of relax your arms down and be more passive. That's okay. Depends on the mood you're in. And coming back up to tabletop. Let's do some hip circles. So we'll take the hips in a circle in one direction and then around. It's like stirring the pot with our hips. We could think of it that way. It gets things moving in the hip and torso and gives the abs a little bit of workout too. Kind of loosens things up. And coming to a gentle stop and other direction. Breathing as you go. One more time and come to a neutral tabletop. let's now bring the right foot behind you and keeping it sort of mat width apart, maybe a little closer together than mat width apart, but bringing your right heel in line with your left foot. And then we're going to put the weight into our left hand and bring the right hand to push against the right inner thigh. And lean back, pushing into the right inner thigh for an inner thigh stretch. And you can push more deeply or you can ease off as feels good for you. Breathing into the stretch. Trying to relax. And coming back to tabletop. Now this time taking the left foot, left toes pointing off to the left, left heel in line with the right foot, and putting the weight into the right hand, putting the left hand against left inner thigh, and lean back. And breathe. And enjoy the feeling of that left inner thigh stretch. This is not a stretch that I do very often in the course of my regular life, so it's kind of like, whoa, this is interesting. I'm not used to this. It's good. It's good to do things we're not used to doing. And then release and come back to tabletop. Let's take the right leg and bring it straight out in front for a half Hanuman. So checking our hips, making sure our hips are squared off to the front of the mat, making sure our right leg is mostly long. Micro bend in the knee at least. You can, bend it a little more if you need to, obviously. Flex that right foot, toes to the sky, elongating through the spine. If you like staying here, you can stay here, or you can soften down over that front leg. Whew. Yep. I feel that back of my leg. It's good though. And leading with the heart and coming back up. And then moving forward through the right foot and coming up to a kneeling position into crescent lunge. And then bringing the arms up, biceps by ears, fingertips to sky, bringing the shoulders down and away from the ears, lifting through the chest, bringing the hands down to frame the right foot, tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee to come into a low lunge. Hopping the left foot forward just a little bit, toes pointing off to the left. Coming to a standing position. Hips square to the front of the mat. Right knee over right ankle. Left heel down against the mat. So foot's flat to the mat. You can always adjust, hop it forward a little bit, hop it back a little bit, scooch it around a little bit if you need to. And then bring the arms overhead to high prayer. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Warrior one. Breathe. Bringing the arms down, pivoting the left foot so that it's parallel to the back of the mat. Scooching the right foot to make sure that right heel is in line with left arch. Right knee over right ankle. Abs engaged, arms out in a T. Shoulders away from ears, looking over the right fingertips. Warrior two. You can adjust your stance a little closer, a little further out as you see fit. And now we're going to straighten that front leg. Pivot our right side body over our right leg. Windmill the right hand, either to your right leg, higher up on your right leg, lower down on your right leg, or to the floor with the left arm fingertips to sky. Triangle pose. Rotating your shoulder, your left shoulder back, imagining you're between two panes of glass. Inhaling, coming back up to warrior two, knee over ankle, gazing over that right hand, arms in a T. Dropping the left arm, raising the right arm up and over, peaceful warrior. Back to warrior two, shoulders down and away from your ears, arms straight out in a T. Windmilling the hands down to frame the front foot, low lunge. Back to tabletop. Checking our alignment in tabletop. Now taking the left leg and bringing it straight out in front. Checking your hips, they're parallel to the front of the mat. Left leg nice and long, fairly straight, at least a micro bend, if not more, if left foot flexed. You can stay here or on the inhale, elongating your spine. And exhaling and dropping over that front leg. Breathing through the stretch in the back leg. Then leading with your heart and coming back up. Rolling forward onto the left foot. Coming up to crescent lunge, so arms overhead, fingertips to sky. If you'd like, you can bring your hands behind you, clasping your hands behind your butt. Rolling your shoulders back and down, extending your arms back and down. Breathing. Then release the arms, have them frame the front foot, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, low lunge. Hopping the right foot forward, toe pointing off to the right, coming to a standing position, checking that your hips are square to the front of the mat, that your left knee is over your left ankle heel, facing the front of the mat, arms overhead into high prayer. Right heel is foot is sealed to the mat. Adjust as you need to, a little bit closer together, if that's what you need. Then coming to warrior two by bringing the right foot, making it parallel to the back of the mat, and adjusting so that your left heel is in line with right arch. Again, checking to make sure left knee is over left heel. From a safety perspective, that's important. Arms in a T, broad across the collarbones, dropping shoulders down, looking over the left fingertips. Breathing in warrior two. Straightening that front leg, leaning over with your torso over the left leg, reaching that left arm straight out in front, and then windmilling the arms down so that the left hand comes down to your leg, further down your leg, or onto the floor. Rotating right shoulder back, fingertips to sky. Breathing in triangle pose. Really rotating that chest more towards the sides so that you can fit between those panes of glass. And coming back up to warrior two. Watching your shoulders, keeping them down away from your ears. That should also help with the neck. And then dropping the right arm, bringing left arm up and over, peaceful warrior. And then bringing the hands back to a T, warrior two. Let's windmill the hands forward so it frames the front foot. Low lunge. And back to tabletop. Now, let's walk the hands forward just a little bit and bring the right foot forward so that the right foot is beside the right hand, just on the outside of the right hand. We're going to move into lizard. So you can stay here, or you can drop down to your forearms. See how that feels. If you're liking where this is going, you can tuck your back toes and lift your back knee. Then you get a bit more of an ab workout here, I find. And breathe. And try to relax your face and try to relax your shoulders. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. If you lifted the knee, you can drop the knee. Coming back to your hands. Now, keeping your left hand planted, if you want, you can reach behind with your right arm and capture your left foot. So bending the left foot so it comes closer towards the glute. And we can do a left quad stretch. You can either ease off by shifting back a little bit, or if you could use a little bit more of a stretch here, you can shift forward. And just adjust and see how you feel. And breathe. And gently lowering the foot and coming back to tabletop. Now walking the hands forward again, let's take the left foot and bring it beside our left hand, just to the outside of the left hand. Staying here or coming down onto the forearms, fingered spread. And staying here or tucking back toes and lifting back knee. Trying to relax your face, relax your arms and shoulders. Breathe. And when you're ready, dropping the knee if you lifted it up, coming back to your hands if you went on your forearms, and then bending right knee, so right knee heel is in your right glute, grabbing your right foot with your left hand and taking the quad stretch. It's kind of funny sometimes when I do go for that stretch and I can't find my foot. Like groping around, where'd it go? I know it's there. Yep. It's one of the nice things about yoga too. It helps with body awareness in lots of ways. Then gently releasing the foot. And this time, let's go into a tabletop briefly and then come up to kneeling. And we're going to do a camel prep pose. We're not going to do full camel today. Let's take it a bit easier today. So in a kneeling position, bringing your shoulders back and down, bringing your arms at your lower back in fists, lifting up through the chest, and gently leaning back, relaxing your neck back if that feels good. If that does not feel good, you can take this position and lean back but look forward. And that's okay too. But we really want to lift up through the chest and not compress the lower spine. Coming up to kneeling. Opening knees, mat distance apart, coming back onto your heels. Let's go briefly into a child's pose. Just because child's pose is nice. It's nice to be nice to ourselves. Bringing heels or glutes on top of heels. Arms straight in front, facing the top of the mat. Let's come up to a seat. And bring the right leg straight out in front, left foot in contact with right inner thigh. So the left knee is bent and off to the side. We're going to do a Janu Shashasana. So sitting bones rooted into the mat, spine nice and long, crown to sky. You can stay here or inhale, lengthen. And exhale, hinge at the hips and come forward over the leg. You may come forward onto your hands. You may come forward onto your forearms. You may come forward all the way. Whatever is good for you today is great. And relax and breathe. Keeping the right foot flexed. Relaxing your upper body. And leading with your heart coming back up. Let's take the left leg straight out in front this time. Bring the right leg bent in, putting the right sole of the foot on the left inner thigh. Sitting up on our sitting bones, nice and long in the spine. Staying here and enjoying this, or inhaling and lengthening. And exhale, hinge at the hips and come forward a little or a lot, whatever is good to you. Left foot flexed. And try to relax your upper body, your face and your arms. Leading with your heart coming back up. Let's take the right shin and place it parallel to the top of the mat. Let's take your left thigh and place it parallel to the top of the mat with your left shin at a 90-degree angle. Deer pose, lengthening through the spine, bringing the shoulders down and away from the ears, and then walking forward onto your hands, onto your forearms, or all the way down. Enjoying the stretch in the back, right, back of the thigh, kind of glute area. Relaxing and breathing here. Try to let go of any tension in your body. And leading with the heart coming back up. Switching sides, so left shin parallel to front of the mat, right thigh parallel to front of the mat. What's that called? That's my calf, right calf at a 90-degree angle. That happens sometimes. And lengthening through the spine, crown to sky, coming forward onto hands, forearms, or all the way down. And, you know, if one side feels tighter than the other and you could go onto your forearms on one side and then your hands on the other, that's cool. Just accepting where your body is today. Relaxing wherever you're at, relaxing. Breathing. And then leading with your heart coming back up. And let's let's do a fire log. Let's take the right shin and place it parallel to the top of the mat. And bring your left shin, place it on top so that ankles and knees are stacked. Your spine is nice and long, crown to sky. And you can stay here, or if you want, elongating through the spine and coming forward over your legs, resting your hands or resting your forearms, whatever feels good, pleasantly challenging. Relaxing your head down, relaxing your neck. Breathing. And then leading with your heart and coming back up. Switching legs so that your left shin is on the bottom now, parallel to the front of the mat. Right shin is on top and knees and ankles are stacked. Nice long spine. You can stay here and breathe, and that's perfectly lovely. Or if you want, you can elongate through your spine, hinging at your hips and coming forward onto hands or forearms or further down. And breathing and trying to relax any areas of tension, backing off if it's too much. Coming back up, leading with your heart, coming back up. Let's come into a reclined position. So all the way down on your back, but your knees up to the sky and your feet on the floor. And let's take both knees, hug them into your chest for a moment. And then take both knees to the left. Keeping your shoulder blades on the mat. You can put your arms in a goalpost position or out in a T. You can look straight up at the sky, which might be more comfortable if your neck's not feeling so great. Or if you want to try looking to the right, you can do that too. Just trying to relax wherever you're at. And then knees and head to center. Hug those knees in again. And bring them to the right. Oh, yep. And arms in a T or a goalpost. Looking up at the ceiling or to the left. And breathe and relax. Soften your body. And knees to center. And it's that time in class we move to Savasana. So legs straight out in front, arms along the sides, palms up, feet slightly apart. Tucking the shoulder blades under a little bit to open your chest. Relax your face. Relax your eyes and your jaw. Placing the tongue on the roof of your mouth at the center of the back of your teeth. Gently. Taking a moment to maybe observe how you feel. Did you gain any new sense of acceptance of your body? Maybe how it feels today, maybe some limits today, maybe some things it could do today that it couldn't do last time, or vice versa. Just an awareness of what might be happening. And thinking about determination, is there anything that maybe you want to work on with that knowledge and acceptance of what's going on today? And nothing may come to mind particularly, but something to consider. Couple more breaths here before we come back to reality. Let's gently wiggle the fingers and toes. Bringing the feet flat onto the mat, knees to the sky. Rolling over to one side, placing head on your arms with your hands like a pillow. And then pushing up to tabletop.